Well, yeah, you gave me a call.
Yeah.
After this conversation. And I can kind of see both sides of it when you talk to me, because me and Wack got into it like 10 years ago. And that made me not want to talk to Wack for 10 years, basically. But I felt there was two things going on. There was one, Wack has this reputation that he built up for himself. So when he goes into Wack100 mode, people are going to react a certain type of way based on things they've seen before, which sometimes is just an act. He just turns up, he even, explains certain situations, how he does it like on purpose and so forth. And there's also a lot of stuff on Wack, which you were telling me on the phone call, that I know just weren't true, and I kind of explained to him, when we talk later on, it's just like, okay, this is a guy from the UK. He's not really around everyone the way the rest of us are, like living in LA and being around the people and really knowing what really happened versus sort of what's on the internet. Because if you look on Reddit, there's all types of insane conspiracy theories about people. There's insane conspiracy theories about me. What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Allegedly, my mom is tied to the KGB and all this other type of weird stuff, which just isn't true. So you and I talked, and I'm like, okay, do you want me to give him a call? Well, let me see what I could do. And you're like, sure, go ahead and give him a call. Right?
Well, so rewind. Let's start from the beginning, because I'll tell you what happened. And I feel like maybe there was some things in that first conversation that me and him had that just didn't come up, but like will add a lot of context to the conversation. But what you just said is a very good point, because it's like, if you Google Wack100 extortion, a lot of things come up.
Right.
And I said that to him on the phone, and that upset him.
But a lot of the stuff isn't true.
Well, this is the thing.
Some of the stuff you're mentioning to me, I'm like, no, that didn't happen. Well, I know all the people you're talking about right now. Like, literally, I know them, and I can make phone calls and talk to either them or their direct management, and it just isn't true.
Well, this is the thing. These details of the conversation I probably did tell you, but it's like I didn't say them publicly. But then Wack did, after the dust settled on all this, Wack jumped on Academics' stream and basically just shared the whole conversation, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But I'll recap that, and I'll give the world an understanding of why I felt like I was in the midst of a Wack100 extortion plot, which later I understand was not. So after the pressing on No Jumper, I basically copped a plea with Wack. I messaged Wack and said, hey, Wack, like, look, it was no disrespect. I didn't mean to, it was wrong of me to message Adam with that stuff. I wasn't trying to put you in it. It really all came across wrong. And like, I look up to you. You're an OG of the game. You're legendary. I've been reading about you for years. Like, I really want to be on your good side. Let's have a good relationship. And he was kind of like, yeah, no, we good. Like, the way he put it was like, if you see something crazy about me, send it to me first.
Yeah, you could actually send it to both of them at the same time, and there would have been no issues whatsoever, right?
I felt like, just to be completely honest, looking back, yeah, I probably could have sent it to Wack first. Admittedly, Wack was on the phone on No Jumper Live. And also, I didn't feel like I had a good enough relationship with Wack to send him that. Maybe now that's different. But it was more like I was sending it to Adam because it was just like, yo, this is your co-host. This is crazy. Adam wasn't on the news at that point. I didn't realize Adam was in the next room and just going to walk straight back in and ask Wack about this live. Anyway, that's besides the point. I copped a plea with Wack. I was like, look, mad respect. Like, really, really didn't mean to have any animosity with you. Let's keep in touch. And after that, I basically kind of made it a point to almost just on a friendly level, just let him know, like, I'm working on a big U expose. I'm digging deeper into this situation. Like, let's be friendly. Let's be on the same team, whatever. And then I asked him a couple questions about Big U, partly because I wanted to know the answers, but also just to kind of have a reason to maintain this relationship and just keep him tapped into what I was doing. So this is the interesting info. There is a $1 million worth of game interview that stars both Big U and Wack100 together. I don't know if you've seen this, right? Classic 2020, I think it was. There's a really great part of that conversation where Wack and Big U are talking, and Wack basically says, yo, Big U, there's like a legendary story that there was a prison riot when you were inside doing your long bid and you knocked out like 32 people in a row. And so in that interview, he says that there's footage, like he's seen the surveillance footage of Big U in a prison riot knocking out 30 people in a row. And he's like saying, no, it's not 32 people, it was 32 knockouts. People was getting back up and getting knocked out again, all this stuff. Crazy story, right? And I wanted to talk about that in my piece that I was doing. So I seen another video by another YouTuber claiming to be reacting to the footage of Big U knocking out the 30 people. But I kind of was like, I don't think this looks like what they say it looks like. So I said to Wack, I was like, yo, is this footage here? Is this the Big U knocking out 30 people footage? And he was like, nah, that's not it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then we went back and forth just about random stuff. I think I was just asking him like, I mean, I could even pull up the conversation, but I was just asking him like, just little prison details about Big U, basically. And then so in the midst of this conversation, Wack hits me with a message, I think it was in all caps, saying you should buy the footage. And I'm kind of like, I'm a bit confused because I'm like, what footage are we talking about? Now, this is where the whole extortion thing, because the whole conversation got really mixed up and confused. I could show you the conversation, and he did show it on Academic's live stream. But just come to find out, he's saying to me I should buy the Nipsey smut tape footage.
He doesn't even have that. He's seen it, but he doesn't have it in his possession, because we've had a conversation about that.
He said to me, I don't know if he was trying to. He said to me, like, I'm the only reason it's not been out there. You should buy it. He didn't directly try and sell it to me, but he basically was on some stuff of like, you should buy the Nipsey tape and it should be part of your documentary. It'll be crazy.
I mean, I have a photo from what he's talking about, which I'll never put out. And I even contacted one of the people in the photo to let them know that, hey, listen, I just want to let you know this is out there. I'm not going to put it out. But I'm just, as a courtesy, you should just know that it is out there.
So you're saying he doesn't have it?
He himself, because I remember when I interviewed him about this, and I remember there was a title about him having the footage, he specifically hit me up and said, I don't have this footage. I don't have it in my possession, but I do know the guy that was trying to release it or something, or trying to shop it around. So he has access to it, but he doesn't have it in his possession. And he made a specific point about that to me, about that.
If I show you the conversation, will you tell me whether or not it sounds like he's trying to tell me that he does have it or he doesn't?
You can show me.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is where all the confusion came from, because it's almost like we're having this conversation and then I'm kind of like, yo, like, are you saying, is this, so I'll just show it to you.
Why don't you text it to me? We could include it.
Okay.
Do you want to put it out?
I don't mind, because Wack already showed it on Academics
right.
stream, right?
Yeah,
so I can text it to you. But anyway,
text it to me.
I want to just show you, because this is like, okay, you can just go from here. You can just scroll down, right? And see how this conversation. This is the conversation.
Okay. Call me on FaceTime, works better with my UK phone. Okay, so there's a YouTube video of Pelican Bay prison riot of 2000.
So I'm asking him, is this the Big U footage where
this
he knocks
was the
out
Big
30
U
people?
fight? No, nothing to do with him. Blacks lost that battle. Is Nipsey, and then you asked, is Nipsey baby mother really Big U niece? He said, not by blood, just figure of speech. And then he said, you should buy the footage, it'll go crazy out your way. So he's talking about the prison riot footage.
See, this is the thing. So I'm confused now. I'm like, are we talking about the prison riot footage or are we talking about the S-tape?
Okay, but isn't this video, this YouTube video, the footage of the prison riot?
Yes.
So why would you buy it if it's already out?
Well, no, because that's not actually the right one. So there's some other YouTuber that thinks that's the Big U fight, but it turns out it's not.
Okay. So you said, so he said, you should buy the footage, it'll go crazy out your way. You said, you think it's still around? That was like 25 years ago or something,
I'm still thinking we're talking about the prison fight footage, right? Because I probably would have bought the prison fight footage, but I definitely ain't trying to buy no smut tape.
Well, I don't see a mention of the Nipsey thing anywhere here.
Well, this is why the conversation kind of got confused.
So he just changed, you're saying he changed topics to talk about the Nipsey situation?
Well, this is the thing. I'm thinking we're talking about a fight tape.
Okay.
And then suddenly it's like, I'm backtracking thinking, wait, we're talking about the Nipsey sex tape.
Right. So you said, you think it's still around? That was like 25 years ago or something, right? And he said, I'm the only one that has access to it. So he didn't say he has it. He has access to it. Like I said. See? Consistent. I'm the reason it hasn't come out. So I think he was saying he even gave the guy some money to like not put it out. I think he mentioned that on my interview.
But here's where we're getting confused, right?
He says from 2019, right before he died.
So this is the thing. So now when he says that, when it's 2019, right before he died, now I'm realizing, he's talking about the sex tape. He's not talking about the fight tape.
Right. You go, man, that's crazy. That seems too deep, though. I'm usually just messing with public sources. He said text messages and consent to record is given by Nip on the recording.
So now I'm like, okay, we're definitely talking about the S tape now. But
I don't want you're talking about the Nipsey fight? No, not the fight.
Okay. So now I'm like, okay, we're talking about the S tape, but I don't want it. I don't want to buy the S tape.
You said fight tape or sex tape?
No, okay. So, but what you're missing there is that he then sends me a screenshot of someone saying they got dirt on me.
So, I was trying to figure out what this is. So, deposited a new message. Hey, what's up? I got a little dirt on a trap. L.A. Ross. So give me a call back.
So this is the moment I'm like, whoa, hang on. He's saying he got dirt on me now. I didn't want to buy the tape. So bear in mind, like you said, I probably overreacted and got spooked because I'm not used to dealing.
Oh, Traplo Ross. Okay, yeah.
You go.
Hey, what's okay? So it's a voice message and it's.
I guess, yeah. But he's sending me this anonymous thing saying someone's got dirt on me, and I've just said I don't want to buy this tape.
He does this to everyone with actually a positive mind state. So, for example, there was multiple times that like he hit me up. He's like, "Hey, I heard that the feds raided your offices," and I'm like, "No." And then there's another thing. He was like, "Hey, someone is saying that 6ix9ine is getting busted and you're somehow involved in it." I'm like, I've talked to the guy for 30 seconds one time. I have no idea how I could be involved. And like all these times, like nothing happened. So sometimes he just gets wrong information, like we all do. And he's just passing along and saying, "Hey, you should know about it." I don't think this was hey, I got something on you and you better start paying me and I'm extorting you. I don't get that because like I say, he sends the same type of thing to me.
I think with the context of you explaining that to me after the fact, I could understand. At the time, I was probably overreacting, over scared. I don't deal with the streets. I don't deal with inside information. I don't deal with buying tapes off anyone. So I probably overreacted because I started thinking, oh, because I didn't want to buy the tape, he's trying to sell me or extort me on my own tape. And then I'm Googling Wack100 sex tape extortion and there's a bunch of results. And so I'm getting too spooked, basically.
Yeah, because there was like, and I haven't talked to him about this. I guess some people thought that Wack was extorting Kanye over the Kim K sex tape, but that's not what happened. From what I understand, he actually got a copy of it and just gave it to Kanye. Because the thing about Wack is Wack used to be crazy, when I first met him, and he'll admit that he was a different Wack back then. But over time, he's actually become a business person, and he actually understands the strength of relationships. So we actually said on camera, we both agreed that by us not rocking with each other for 10 years, we probably each lost about $1 million. Each. Just because he's got a bunch of artists I could interview that I don't interview because they're in connection with him. I remember Ray J wanted to do an interview and I'm like, "You still rocking with Wack?" He's like, "Yeah, well, I can't do it." Like, it was like shit like that because I was really just like, "No, I ain't fucking with this dude. I don't care. Like, I don't care what he says, what he does. I'm not rocking with him." Like, and it's whatever. Like, what I mean? It's like, okay, like I'm preparing myself for the bullshit if we ever run into each other, but he's not going to just dictate what he wants to do with me and so forth. So we just stop rocking with each other until we start rocking with each other. It's like, oh shit, we're actually on a different, he's not on a different, he's not on the same bullshit that he was before. And actually Wack is a really good resource right now. Me and him have actually formed a good business relationship. He was just here on Monday. So yeah, I can see where the mix up is.
As a small town boy from the south of England, the conversation to me had gotten way beyond my depth, basically, at that point. And that's why, again, I feel like it's not like that happened and then I made a whole expose being like, Wack is an extortionist. I made a funny little comment thinking, oh, Wack's trying to like extort, finesse, sort of do some weird stuff with me and saying he's got dirt on me. I don't know this is... And it just spiraled out of control.
You're like, fight tape or sex tape? LOL. All he has is sex tapes.
At that point,
that pretty much...
I stopped talking because at that point,
that was March 24th. There's another conversation on April 10th. So yeah. Weeks passed between these situations.
And you can look at... Yeah. So you could look at what come next, but like there's a long message of him basically saying I'm in a lot of trouble with him after I made that comment.
Oh, okay. Do you want to
see what I mean?
Yeah, go ahead. I didn't realize it.
Okay. You can just take it for that. But okay. What I will say is that day when me and you spoke and I spoke to Wack, I basically woke up to a bunch of messages from a bunch of different people, including Wack, being like, Wack is pissed and he wants to talk to you. You don't have to...
yeah, this is a nice long message here.
So I'm scared.
A businessman, a man of honor. I've never took a bully, nobody. I demand what's owed. I'm not a street ninja. That's where I came from. We talked to had an understanding. I have at least $500 million in contracts pending, all legal business. Why would you do what you did, knowing that I'm not involved in these acts? Big U, Rico. My name is Cash Jones from Forest Wack100. That's an entertainment name. Gave me a word, but I see your mission is to attack and attempt to slander me. Well, I'm going to show you. I'm a great friend and I have friends in corporate places.
Yeah, so I'm very scared at this point. And then we had a phone call where like this is the thing, because I was scared and I was kind of in like a fight or flight mode, I wasn't trying to be tough with him, but I was trying to stand my ground just on some stuff of like, Wack, like I've looked you up and I've seen all this sex tape extortion stuff and I feel like you was trying to put some dirt on me and like this isn't right. You like, this isn't right. And then he's like, I'm going to sue you. You've slandered me. And then I'm basically trying to say, I felt like you was gearing up to put an extortion on me, and I ended the conversation at that point. And that's how I felt. And I made the comment. Probably shouldn't have made the comment, but I made the comment.